Okay, and so you don't know. In Section 7-1234-02 of DC Code, you use the phrase justice involved incarcerated and homeless birthing people and their non-birthing partners. Can you explain to this committee what that means?
I would have to see the whole section.
You don't know. You're literally the mayor of DC, and you don't know your own code of laws.
Well, I don't know.
All right.
Them
One thing we
verbatim.
noticed the DC Code struggles to define is the term woman. So, Mayor Bowser, what is a woman?
I'm a woman. Are you a woman?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
I'm a woman. You're looking at one.
Okay.
You've got to see this, folks. Mayor Muriel Bowser was absolutely left speechless when Congresswoman Nancy Mace tore apart her woke agenda piece by piece. This wasn't just another DC hearing. It was a full-blown reality check for the radical left. Before we dive into this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss when we expose the truth they don't want you to hear, AN.
All right, Chair recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning. The government of the District of Columbia, under the leadership sitting in front of us today, has become a poster child for DEI and gender madness. This has led to government. Mr. Chairman, this is not a concert. This audience can just settle down.
Stop the clock, and the gentlelady's right. Under the rules of the House, the chairman is responsible for maintaining order and preserving decorum in the committee room. I expect audience members to be respectful of the committee, so
I'd like to reclaim my time, too,
you
Mr.
reclaim
Chairman.
it. Absolutely. Ms.
This has
Mace.
led to government-sanctioned racial discrimination and the erasure of women. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 provides Congress plenary authority over the District of Columbia. Using this authority today, I'll be introducing the No DEI in D.C. Act. This bill will rip the DEI and gender bender nonsense out of the D.C. government root and branch and restore common sense and equal treatment under the law. As the individuals charged with writing D.C. laws, signing D.C. laws, and enforcing D.C.'s laws, we have some questions for you on the meanings of some of the curious terms we have found in the D.C. Code. My first question for Mayor Bowser, it's yes or no. The D.C. Code makes numerous references to, quote, structural or institutional racism. Do you believe the D.C. government is structurally or institutionally racist? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is D.C. government racist, institutionally racist? Yes or no? All right, you can't answer the question. So my next question for Mayor Bowser, since you're going to sit there and placate or just be quiet, in Section 7-1234.02 of D.C. Code, you use the phrase child welfare involved birthing people. Child welfare involved birthing people. Can you explain to me what this means?
I'm not that familiar with that part of the code.
Okay, and so you don't know. In Section 7-1234-02 of D.C. Code, you use the phrase justice involved incarcerated and homeless birthing people and their non-birthing partners. Can you explain to this committee what that means?
I would have to see the whole section.
You don't know. You're literally the mayor of D.C., and you don't know your own code of laws.
Well, I don't know.
All right,
them
one thing we
verbatim.
noticed the D.C. Code struggles to define is the term woman. So, Mayor Bowser, what is a woman?
I'm a woman. Are you a woman?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
I'm a woman. You're looking at one.
Okay, good. You actually, in Section 3-703 of the D.C. Code, you use the phrase, the intersectionality of gender and race to create unique dynamics and effects. Can you explain what this means to the committee?
Where is that, ma'am?
Section 3-703 of the D.C. Code. Do you know what that means? No, you don't know what that means. So Chapter 14D of the D.C. Code establishes the commission.
I'm happy to answer questions.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to reclaim my time. This is not her time, it's my time. You can be quiet as I ask you questions, and then you can answer them. And then you can answer them. I'm not, Mr. Chairman, this is my time, not hers. I'd like to reclaim my time.
Let's make good use of the time, Ms. Mace.
I'm making very good use of my time.
And
you're making my point. You're the mayor of D.C., and you don't even know your own code of laws. What is a birthing person?
I would assume it's someone who gives birth.
All right. Why don't you use, are these women? Are these moms? You think it's appropriate to call them birthing person? Can a man birth a person?
Well, that's what I would call it, but I don't write all the laws, and I'm not familiar with every section.
Can men get pregnant?
No.
Can men become women?
Can a man become a woman?
Yeah. Can a man become a woman?
Miss
yes
Mace,
or no? Can a man become a woman? Yes or no?
Ms. Mace, I'm not here
Okay,
to
my
talk
next
about
question, Chapter 14D of the DC Code establishes the Commission on Reparations and a reparations fund to provide eligible African Americans monetary reparations or other forms of redress. Is it the position of DC government benefits should be provided to individuals on the basis of race?
I believe that the legislation requires a study.
Okay, I'm asking you, is it the position of the DC government that government benefits should be provided on the basis of race?
If you're
is the
referring to
question.
that legislation, I believe it requires a study.
Okay, I'm asking you a question. Do you believe that government benefits should be given out on the basis of race? That is the question. This is the third time I'm asking.
We have any number of benefits programs, and eligibility is established.
You're not answering
per-
any of these
per program.
questions. I'll give it to you. You're slick. In Section 2-1383 of the DC Code, you use the phrase social value of the LGBTQ community business economy to the district. Can you explain what this means to the committee?
It means that LGBT businesses provide economic benefit to the district's economy.
Do you think all businesses provide economic benefit to the DC economy?
They should, or they would be out of business.
Yeah, of course. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you. Chair recognizes.
All right, patriots, let's break this down. During a recent House hearing, Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina confronted D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, and what unfolded was pure political demolition. Mace didn't waste a second. She went straight for the jugular, calling out the District of Columbia for being a poster child for DEI and gender madness. And she's right. Washington, D.C. has become the testing ground for every woke social experiment imaginable. Mace wasn't there to play games. She introduced something called the No DEI in D.C. Act, a bill aimed at ripping out this obsession with identity politics and restoring equal treatment under the law. It's about time someone stood up and said enough is enough. Now, here's where it gets good. Mace asked Mayor Bowser a simple question. Is the D.C. government structurally or institutionally racist? You'd think the mayor of the capital city would have a clear answer, but no, she dodged, she stalled, and she refused to answer directly. That alone tells you everything you need to know about how deep this woke nonsense runs. Then Mace turned up the heat. She pointed to actual terms in D.C.'s own legal code. Phrases like child welfare involved birthing people, and justice involved incarcerated birthing people. And when Mace asked Bowser to explain what those words even mean, Bowser couldn't. The mayor of D.C. didn't even know her own laws. You can't make this stuff up. And then came the knockout moment. Mace asked the question that sends every woke activist running for cover. What is a woman? Bowser tried to dance around it, finally saying, I'm a woman. But Mace didn't let her off easy. She asked if men can become women or get pregnant, and Bowser once again refused to give a straight answer. The silence was deafening. Mace continued pressing on other points, like whether government benefits should be given based on race. Bowser ducked that one too, claiming the Reparations Commission was just a study. It's a classic move from woke bureaucrats. Hide behind committees, redefine words, and hope no one notices. But Mace wasn't fooled. She called out the absurdity right there, pointing out how the left has weaponized language and policy to push an agenda that divides Americans by race, gender, and identity. What happened in that room was a perfect example of how common sense is being crushed under political correctness, and Nancy Mace wasn't afraid to call it out. What we're seeing in D.C. is the same pattern happening across the country. Bureaucrats and politicians are more concerned with gender pronouns and DEI checklists than they are with crime, education, or the cost of living. The capital city is crumbling under their leadership, yet their priority is inventing new terms like birthing people. This is what happens when ideology replaces competence. At the end of the day, Nancy Mace did what so few politicians are willing to do. She spoke truth to power. She forced Mayor Bowser to face her own contradictions, and Bowser had no defense. It was brutal, it was honest, and it exposed exactly what's wrong with the left's agenda. So, patriots, what do you think? Was Nancy Mace right to call out this madness? Let me know in the comments. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more Americans can see what's really happening behind the curtain of progress. The fight for common sense isn't over, but moments like this show that the tide is turning.